Alright. This is gonna be a good one. Chat, welcome back, Reem. We are a day late. It is a Thursday stream. Have I ever streamed on a Thursday before? The only times I haven't streamed on Wednesdays were like the Regents weeks, where we had a lot going on and I wanted to stream every day before the exam. I'm looking through my calendar. I don't think I've ever streamed on a Thursday. I've done Mondays, I've done Tuesdays, I've done Tuesday again, Tuesday. There were a lot of Tuesdays in there, I'm noticing. But welcome to a Thursday stream. I had a lot of things going on yesterday, a lot of things I was doing, so I decided rather than squeezing it in for the last moment, I would rather do it on a day where I'm more free and ready to learn about the AP Gov Exam. Because A-Push, which is what I did last week, is at the very least an exam that I knew how to do, because I took AP World the year before and it was the same. AP Gov is a different story. I have not done an AP Gov type exam at all, ever. Which is more of a predicament, so I had to spend the last little bit of time preparing for that and like seeing how the exam would work. So if I can pull up Google here, can I find the right one? There we go. So in all honesty, I watched this video, this Heimler video right here. If I can get through this ad here. Yeah, so I watched this Heimler video. Oh, it's not covering properly. I did not learn anything. I wanted to make sure that like this exam, which should take less time than last week, because the thing is last time I actually knew I knew a good chunk of stuff and I knew how to do the exam. So then that ended up meaning that that I could get through everything. I could like take time, actually think about it. Here, I don't know much about the multiple choice, and I've looked through these FRQs. I don't really know how to do a good chunk of them. Like, I didn't learn any of the SCOTUS cases we need for this class, so I'm not going to do a very good SCOTUS comparison, meaning I'm also probably going to spend less time on it, is my thinking, right? Because if I don't know what I'm talking about, then I'll probably not think about it as hard. So that's kind of the main thinking here. So the stream shouldn't take too long. Most likely we'll be out of here within 2.5 hours. And also, AP World, or sorry, A-Push. I keep saying half-assed. I don't know how many. I don't know how many times I said AP World on accident instead of A-Push. It's gonna happen a lot this year. But the A-Push exam had 2 full essays alongside the SAQs. Here, it's only 4 FRQs, and only one of them, I believe, is a full-on essay, which means 3 of them are question and answer, just like the SAQs of the A-Push exam. So I think I'm just about ready to get started. I need to pull up my music, actually. Art list, please help me. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I need, but I think we can get on into it. So with that, I think I'm just going to get started. So let me pull up the 3-hour... My mouse is disappearing. Oh my god, please don't make this a whole thing. Oh, my mouse disappeared again. How do I bring my mouse back? I forgot. There's like a way to bring back my mouse. Oh my god, it's gonna be so annoying. Okay, well. This timer is gonna go up in front, and so is the actual timer. Let me move the timer. Yo, I actually can't deal with not having a mouse. I forgot how to fix it. How do I bring the mouse back without getting rid of stream? Yo, I hate when this happens. This happens like once a month. How to bring back mouse from disappearing. It says press F5. That did not help. Reconnecting the mouse. Let me try that. Chat, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to bring my mouse back. And I accidentally start. Oh, it's back. Okay. Yeah, I actually hate when that happens because it just like all of a sudden I don't have a mouse and there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, enough yapping. Let's get started with the exam. 3-hour timer. And let's get started. Okay, so, the timer is kind of, there we go. All right, starting off with the multiple choice. Here we go. Let me move the questions to be more in line here. Okay, let's get started. Okay, also keep in mind, like I've already said this, but I'm not gonna do very well on this, so let's just have that in mind. Preparing for takeoff. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy this. Let's see what I do. Okay, the highest position in the House of Representatives is the Speaker of the House. Yes, which right now is Mike Johnson, I think. I'm not 100%, but I believe that's right. All right, which of the following is a correct description of the writ of certiorari? I don't know what that means at all. So, like, all of these could be right. I think it's a Latin word that I don't know. Is there like I'm trying to see if there's like a root of the word I can find here. Certs? Like certify. So it could certify the appellate court decision. Hear a case. Okay, good to know. Which of the following accurately compares the Articles of the Confederation and the Constitution? Okay. The Confederation. Okay, I don't know the Articles of the Confederation. I know the U.S. Constitution a little more, so I'm gonna go with this. Supermajority vote is required to pass laws. I don't think it's not always required. Oh, it's certainly not required. Like, for example, the Big Beautiful Bill, which I'm pretty sure is a law, I think, did not have a supermajority. It had a normal majority. Okay, Congress has the power to impose an income tax. I think that's right. President has the power to veto. Oh, wait, that is right as well. And then a majority of Congress needed to amend the Constitution. I think this will need a supermajority. So it's between B and C. And then for Articles of Confederation, Congress could not impose an income tax. The president was given power to be commander-in-chief. I'm going to go with C, just because it's the most confident I am with the U.S. Constitution one. It was B. Okay, so I knew it was between B and C and got that one wrong. Okay. So the president was not just the commander-in-chief in the Confederacy. Got it. Okay, using this political cartoon, it's talking about the Articles of Confederation. Okay. Which following statements convey? Okay, so it's, what is it saying here? No national court system, no power to enforce treaties, no power to correct taxes, no power to raise an army. So it's saying that, like, the Articles of a Confederation had no power, is what it's saying. A weak national government. Yes. Got it. Which of the following documents would support the government established by the Articles of Confederation as depicted in the cartoon above? So I actually only know what one of these are. I only know the Declaration of Independence. So that's actually pretty rough for me. Which following documents would support the government established by this? It would not be the Declaration of Independence. And I don't know what these are, so I'm going to go with this one. Randomly picked. Anti-Federalist paper that argued against the ratification of the U.S. Constitution. Interesting. Okay, cool. Which of the following is an action of the government that is supported by Keynesian economics? Oh, not Kenya. I don't think is what it's talking about here. But okay. Again, this is one where I just do not know. The government printing large sums of money in order to counter inflation. This happened. No. Because this can't be right? Because this causes inflation. It doesn't counter inflation. Institute price ceiling to counteract inflation? Potentially. Increase spending to stimulate an economy in a recession. That's not. Also not real. increase money supply at the same rate of economic growth. I'm gonna go with this one just because I know it's like a true thing. Really? You spend in a recession to stimulate the economy? That's what you're supposed to be doing. Does that work? Huh, okay. Sure. Which of the following refers to a procedure where an official can be removed from office where their term expires? A procedure where an official can be removed from office before their term expires. I was going to say impeachment. But it's not a referendum, and it's not a runoff election. So I'm going to go recall. Cool. Which of the following descriptions is the correct statement regarding the ruling in Citizens United versus FEC? This, I'm pretty sure, is a insurance company. And this is the Federal Economic Commission. I made that up. I guessed. I didn't know at all. I didn't know what that meant, even. Which of the following is an accurate comparison between hard money and soft money? I don't know what that is. Hard money... Money is not regulated. Money is a strict set by FEC. Is allowed in campaigns, but restricted is not allowed in campaigns. Money that is spent independently on candidates. Money that is given directly to candidates. Money that is raised by outside groups on behalf of the candidates. Money that is raised by political candidates. A lot of these feel like the opposite, because I felt like hard money would be more related to a candidate. Right, and soft money would be less related, which means that it wouldn't be C or D. I'm gonna go with that assumption and click B. Wait, hard money is allowed in campaign. Hard money refers to contributions that are directly given to a candidate. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was saying. Is like I thought hard money was directly and soft money is indirectly. So good thing I thought that. I think it's hot in here. My AC wasn't on, and we're still in summer. Bro, I hate these graphs. It gives me too many options. Which of the following is an accurate comparison between open primaries and closed primaries? Well, I just know before I read this that open primaries is where anyone can vote in them, and closed primaries, only people who are registered to that party are allowed to vote. So open's about the voters, not the candidates, I'm pretty sure. Or no, wait. Hold on. It's either what I just said, or it's B. It's either D or B, because D is what I was saying, where it was like, it allows registered voters to vote regardless of party affiliation, only allows registered parties to vote. But also, I remember something about that actually sucks. Okay, turns out there was a connection issue, and my music wasn't turning on, and I found out why. That actually sucks. Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess I'll continue, but... Oh, it's what I thought originally. Okay, well... Here we go. Which of the following is an accurate comparison between a circular White House staff and a pyramid White House staff structure? Okay. Just thinking about it before I look at what it says here, it seems like circular is where everyone shares a similar amount of responsibilities and power, and a pyramid is where like the president's on top and everyone's below him. I think. Yo, my computer's starting to tweak. Hold up, I need to close some tabs on my computer. My computer's starting to crash out. Sorry, 1 second. Yo, my computer's... Am I even still live? I think I'm still live. But everything's working at 1 frame a second. Wait, let me just close hello tabs real quick. Okay, I just closed a ton of tabs. I think that made it better. Alright, I'm gonna continue. Let's go. Okay, which of the following is an accurate comparison? Okay, here we go. Yeah. President relies on a task force in a circular one. President only acts as chief of staff. Okay. Many people in the White House have asked as president. Chief of staff is top. Structure, most isolates president. It's definitely not C. I don't think it's D either. So it's Eisenhower. Because it's just the highest bar. Yeah. Eisenhower. Although, I'm fairly certain that, yeah, funny, the highest is 80. Donald Trump in his second term is less than a year into his presidency. First year presidency. He's already done more. I guess it's technically not his first year. It's like technically his fifth year with a break in between. But within the first 6 months, he's done like 200, I'm pretty sure. Which is kind of wild. Why is my music cutting in and out? Oh, it's not. It's just really quiet. I'll turn it up. Alright, here we go. Which of the following is a way a president's executive orders can be checked by a court declaring it unconstitutional? Yeah, that has happened many, many times in the past 6 months. Which following constitutional amendments address the lame duck period? I don't know what the lame duck period. All I know is that's not what the 12th Amendment is. So it's the 20th, 27th, and 25th. The 20th is calling out to me. Okay. Ratified in 1933, addressed the lame duck period by moving the start of the... Oh, the lame duck period is like after the election happens, you're kind of waiting for the transition. So in 1933, they moved inauguration day from March to January. Okay, I knew that happened in the 30s. I just didn't know that it was the 20th Amendment or that it was called the lame duck period. I'll keep that in mind. Good to know. Which of the following departments is headed by the Attorney General? The Department of Homeland Security? Because, hold up. It's right now. I know this based off current politics. So it's Attorney General Pam Bondi is the current Attorney General. And she runs either the Department of State or Department of Homeland Security. No, because Homeland Security is Kristi Noem. So Department of State is Attorney General. It was DOJ. Yikes. Okay, so Pam Bondi runs the DOJ. Good to know. It's funny, like, because I haven't learned this stuff yet, I'm, like, basing these questions off of my knowledge of current politics. But, I mean, if it works, it works. I mean, it clearly doesn't work. Got that question wrong, but... Okay, which of the following correctly describes the process used when neither presidential candidate received 270 electoral votes? I don't know what process is used. Because I don't think it's ever happened, right? I know there was, like, in 2000, there was, like, a mix-up of who won Florida who would cause 270, and it ended up going to the House. But... So I'm pretty sure it's this then, because that's... No, this did happen one time. I don't remember which president, but I saw a video recently where this is what happened. Yeah. Did it say when this happened? No. But I'm pretty sure this happened at some point. I just don't know when. Maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah. Moving on. Yo, my music keeps cutting in and out. I don't know what's happening. It's like loading rather than playing. Hello? My Wi-Fi is so booty right now. Okay, I'll just continue with that music. As long as the stream is working, I'm happy. Okay. Which following Supreme Court cases struck down a federal law banning possessions of guns in a school zone? We know it's not Citizen United, because that was something else. No, but this is Citizen United versus the U.S., not the FEC. I still think... Well, it's a Supreme Court case. So that means that it should be... I actually don't know what that means. That doesn't change anything. I'm going to click a random one. Okay. U.S. versus Lopez. Okay, sure. In 1995. Good to know. Okay, sure. Which following is an accurate description of the primary role of the Office of Management and Budget? Never heard of this person in my life. Never heard of this office. But if they manage, I assume they manage and they budget. So it could be this. Don't think it's this. This is run by the Federal Chair Commission, which is currently Jerome Powell. And I don't think that an office like this would work with the president. So I'm going to go with A. They do work with the president. Yikes. So did the OMB this year, did they help make the big beautiful bill? Because that's what the federal budget was that they sent to Congress this year? Who knows? Maybe. Which of the following are an accurate comparison between the Graham-Rund Act and the Budget Enforcement Act that were 4 years apart? I don't know. I assume it raised the debt ceiling. No, budget enforcement wouldn't have. I'm assuming budget enforcement probably means a good thing for the budget. So it would put a cap on discretionary spending and mandated a budget deficit of 0. Because this happened in the 90s. So I'm going to go D. And it was right. Yes. Because all I know is the 90s during Clinton was the last time that we had, like, debt. I think. Or, like, we didn't increase the debt. Or something like that. So D. Yeah. Moving on. If a bill in the House Rules Committee cannot be amended, it is under the... Wait, what? If a bill in the House Rules Committee cannot be amended, it is under the closed rule. No, restrictive rule. It was the closed rule. I knew it was like some sort of like restricting one. I just didn't know which one it was. Okay, sure. Semantics. Alright, which of the following is among the top 5 areas of federal government spending? Social Security. That's an easy one. I know the top 4. It's Social Security, military, there's 2 more. Oh, it says it right here. Medicaid and Medicare. Yeah. It's it's Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and defense is the military. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Which of the following is the best description? I actually liked that there was a question that I actually knew the answer to for once. Which of the following is the best description of the effect of front-loading? I don't know what front-loading is, but... Established candidates because already well-known. Lesser-known candidates because often gains vote quicker. Further enhances significance of New Hampshire primaries. I'm going to go with established candidates because you're kind of like front-loading voters with like people that they know. Yes! Okay. Because I heard this term, I remember hearing this term once or twice when it came to the New York City primary election. I just didn't know if they were talking about Zoran Mamdani or if they're talking about Andrew Cuomo. Because that would be either A or B. So, glad we got that. Which following is an example of the power of the Federal Reserve? That's what I was talking about, Jerome Powell. They can raise or lower interest rates. We're getting to questions I know. Wait, I actually feel so smart now. I actually know answers to these questions. Wait, I feel like I'm actually kind of on a roll here. Okay. Moving on. Percent of federal budget, entitlement versus defense spending. I don't know what an entitlement is, but it's getting higher than defense. Starting in the 70s. However, I don't remember who was before Carter. This is before Carter. And now it's only expanded. Which of the following is a general trend shown in the graph? Oh. I don't have to know what this means. I just have to look at the graph. Entitlements is increased. And other is decreased. Yeah, this one. There we go. I like ones where you don't have to actually know any information. I can just look at the graph. Which following would likely be which the following would be a likely effect for the interest groups as a result of the trends shown in the graph above? Now I have to know what it means. Interest groups would lobby Congress to increase spending on certain discretionary spending, increase entitlement spending. I'm gonna guess decrease entitlement spending. To spend on certain discretionary spending favored by their members. That is such a vague answer choice. Certain discretionary spending, their members. Okay, whatever. Am I still live? Because my music is still not working. It says I'm still live. Okay. I'm going to rock with that and assume we're still live. Oh, the music just started playing. Well, how convenient is that? Alright, moving on. Which of the following economic theories are generally associated with the Republican and Democratic parties, respectively? Okay. Democratic, supply-side economics, monetarism, Monetarism. I remember what this is. This is... I'm pretty sure they said this is a Republican thing. But I'm pretty sure they said this... I'm pretty sure economic planning is also a Republican thing. So... supply side economics is socialism. So it's A. Oh, it's D? Kenyanism was Democrat? I thought it was more of a Republican thing. Okay. Monetarism is associated with monetarism, which emphasizes controlling the money to help combat inflation. Oh, okay. And then Keynesian economics is active government intervention. Okay. Compared to an open market. I see. Okay, which of the following Supreme Court cases established the doctrine of the judicial review? Doctrine of judicial review. It's not Brown v. Board, and it's not McCulloch v. Actually, I've only heard of Brown v. Board and McCulloch v. Maryland, but I don't remember what that was, so I'm going to go with it anyway. Okay, 1803. Because I recognized the name, so I was like, maybe these two are just not real. But, yeah, okay. Moving on. Which of the following is an accurate comparison between the House of Representatives and the Senate? I will not know the answer to this. At least 25, at least 30. Who knows? Represents an entire state, represents a district. Oh, it's B. Yes, that I do know. I didn't know all, like, the small details of, like, how old you have to be, how long they serve for. But I did know that Senate represents a state, representatives represent a district. Am I bugging, or is my music just, like, never wanting to play? Okay, there we go. We're so freaking back. Alright, let's keep rolling. Which of the following is an implied power of Congress? Power to impose taxes. Power to draft soldiers. Okay. They don't impose the taxes? Who imposes the taxes? Oh, it meant implied as instead of explicit. I thought it was like implied versus they don't have. So they do all of these. Okay, I see. It's just it never says that they draft soldiers, but in history they do. Got it. Alright, over halfway there. According to the United States Constitution, in order for a federal office to be removed from a federal official to be removed from office, I'm not gonna know this. I don't even know who would go first, the Senate or the House. But I assume the Supreme Court doesn't have anything to do with it, so it's not B. And a 2/3 majority sounds right. So I'm going to go with either A or C. The question is which one does the impeachment and which one does the voting. I'm going to assume... Wait, I can actually check. Hold up. Because for the presidency, the Senate does the one impeaching. Okay, so with that logic, the Senate also impeaches the official. So it's C. Why do they make it the opposite? What's the reason... What's the reason of doing the opposite for the president and then any other federal official? Like, what's the point of this? Like, why are we making it confusing for no reason? You're making the U.S. Constitution is making my AP Gov Exam harder for no reason. That's messed up. Okay. Which following is a way for Congress to revive a bill that is pigeonholed? I didn't know you could revive it. I thought it was kind of over. Sequester. Okay. I just knew it wasn't filibuster, and I didn't know the other two meant, and sequester sounded like a cool word. So it allows the bill to be brought back to the committee onto the floor of discussion. Okay. Sure. No, I did under 50%. That's bad. That's bad. Okay. Which of the following is a correct process used for selecting a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? The President nominates. The President... Oh, the President nominates in all of these. They nominate a judge who is currently not the court. Wait, what's the court mean? Yeah, I mean, they're not going to nominate someone who's on the court because they're nominating them to be on the... Oh, to select the Chief Justice. Oh, then it would be someone who's on the court. But it's not. It doesn't have to be the most seniority, I think. I think the president can just pick, right? So I'm just going to go B. It can be someone who's not on the court? Wait, really? Someone who's never been on the Supreme Court can be nominated for Chief Justice? That's kind of crazy. But sure. Which following has the power to redraw congressional districts? State legislators. Yeah. They did that in Texas this past week. They just did this. Yeah. And so that's how I know that answer. Which following is the correct number of votes to prevent a filibuster from taking place? 51. Half of the Senate. Why 60? To invoke cloture. That's such a random number. I don't mess with that. Okay. Lobbyists' percentage of spending by group. Corporate interests, and then government institution. No. Corporate interests by far, and then trade associations, and single issue groups. And then government institutional, and then nonprofits, and then labor unions. Okay. Based on the graph above, which the groups is least common interest, labor unions. Wait, what? Which the groups is least common interest group that is registered to lobby. Oh, it's a labor union. So it's unions. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't just say labor union. Which following is a reason that business interests spend the most money on lobbying? Because businesses provide more purposive incentives. I'm gonna go C. More resources? Really? You sure? I feel like a government institutional would have more. It doesn't have to... Can you even see it on screen? I feel like I'm blocking it. Oh, you can't even see it. Yeah, that's my bad. Can't even see it. Really? I was like certain it would be C on this one. But, sure. Whatever. Whatever you say. Which of the following does military spending fall under? Mandatory spending. Well, doesn't it depend on the budget bill passed? So, like, wouldn't it depend on what now the big, beautiful bill says? Is there a difference? But I'm pretty sure it's mandatory. And it's not. It's discretionary. Okay. Well. Which of the following... Oh, is discretionary what has to be spent every year? And then mandatory is what the budget bill says? Is that it? That might be it. Which following is an accurate comparison between horse race journalism and watchdog journalism? Bro, what? Focuses on polls and numbers. Turns politics into a game. Looks at issues that candidates stand on. Endorses politicians. And a watchdog decides what issues governments need to pay attention to. Exposes corruption in government. Watches other branches for abuses of power. Reports on candidates' financial scandals. When I hear horse race and watchdog, I think that horse race is much more like reactionary and like in the weeds, and watchdog is more taken aback. So B. Yeah. Because they're watching out for the corruption, and here they're chasing like the game of who's winning and who's losing at all times. Yeah. Got it. So like in terms of the New York City race, horse race journalism would be more like the New York Post, who says like, Mamdani's a communist. And watchdog would be more like, I don't know who broke the story, but the story about Mayor Adams having ties with the Turkish government. Whoever broke that story would be watchdog. Got it. Okay. Which following primaries allow voters to cast ballots for a party they are not affiliated with? We already knew this question. An open primary. And I got the question wrong last time, even though I knew the answer. But we're back now. Alexander Hamilton. I still have to watch Hamilton, the play. I promised myself I would do it before the school year starts. It is available on Disney Plus. And I have 2 weeks to do that because school starts. Does school start in 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Let me check that real quick, actually. For all those watching live that are curious. 1, 2. We have 2 more weeks. Got it. Okay. Oh, definitely. It'd be funny if I did like a Hamilton watch through reaction on stream. That'd be funny. I don't think I will. That feels a little iffy, but I don't think I can react to a full Hamilton. I get taken down for sure. Okay, let me read the... I didn't know they had passages for multiple choice here. I thought it was only an A-Push, AP Gov, AP Euro thing. It is evident from these considerations that the plurality of the executive tends to deprive people of the 2 greatest securities they can have in the faithful exercise of delegated power. First, the restraint of public opinion, which lose their efficacy. I don't know what that word means. As well, on account of the division of the censure attendant on bad measure of... Yo, what is this dude saying? As on the account of uncertainty for want of fall. And secondly, the opportunity of discovering the facility and clearness, the misconduct of the persons they trust, in order either to their removal of office or their actual punishment in cases which admit of it. Yo, what? He was saying something about the executive branch. Okay, I need to find out if he was saying one person or multiple people. The plurality of the executive tends to deprive people of 2 securities. So, he's arguing for one person because it leads to better accountability, and then you can remove him from office. I can read Hamilton. Oh my god, I'm actually so freaking smart. I can read ye old-timey English. Exactly 50% correct so far. Well, I want to try to end with over 50%. I'd be proud of myself if I end with over 50% here. Alright. Oh, it's the same one. Okay, I don't have to hold another thing. Which following would most likely to favor a multiple executive? I don't know what any of these are. Except for Declaration of Independence. But the Declaration of Independence is not right because in there, that led to the Constitution where they said they wanted... Oh, wait, but the Declaration of Independence was separating from a king. And they might argue that one executive is kind of like a king. So most favor for multiple would be the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna... I was bullcrapping myself there. I wasn't thinking too hard. Which following is a description of political machines. They are organizations. That's... What does a political machine mean? Like, they don't recruit candidates. They might recruit members? My first thought was campaign for political candidates. So I'm actually going to go with that, like a PAC. And it was not a PAC type thing. It's a recruiting members but offering jobs and benefits. Got it. Okay. Which the following is the best comparison between an iron triangle and issue networks. There's so much vocab in this exam. Oh my god. This exam is genuinely almost all vocab that I just do not know. Oh my god. Okay, well, in that case, I'm not gonna know the answer, so I'm just gonna kind of move on with my life and randomly select A. And it was B. Okay. Which following is an example of majoritarian politics? Majoritarian. Subsidies? Social Security. Majority in politics refers to policies where majority of population benefit and most people also pay for it. Oh. With that definition, it would be social securities. I see how that is correct. I'm pretty sure I need to get the next 10 right to at least end with over 45%. Which following provisions is involved in Wisconsin versus Yoder? Well, these two are in the First Amendment. So, the Establishment Clause. I'm losing my mind. Oh my god. Which following statements would an anti-federalist agree with? Whatever would be better for states. States' Bill of Rights is sufficient to protect? Nope. Creation of the Supreme Court is a threat to sovereignty of the states? Yes. No. No, it's B. Yeah. I learned about that in my U.S. history class. I'm going to take A-Push this upcoming year. You can watch my A-Push stream that I did last week. But I remember my non-AP U.S. history class. I learned that. Which the following is a check on the Supreme Court? Not the president cannot do that. But I would assume that Congress and the states can. Or I guess it'd make more sense to sue. No, they couldn't sue because suing would go back to the Supreme Court. So it would be B. Yeah. They'd have to do a whole constitutional amendment. That'd be kind of crazy though. Constitutional amendments take a lot of work to pull off. Which following is an accurate comparison between congressional committees and congressional caucuses? I assume committees are like groups that are like on paper put together. And I know that caucuses is like unofficially like they like have shared interests in a way. Like the way Bernie Sanders is caucused to the Democrats, even though he's not a Democratic member. So that would be this one, right? Part of lawmaking process. So I'm gonna say B. Yes! Dude, if Bernie Sanders wasn't alive, I would not have gotten that question correct. Hail Bernie Sanders for that. Oh, it's another reading. Main message of the passage. Okay, here we go. Segregation of white and colored children in public schools has a detrimental effect upon the colored children. The impact is greater when it has the sanction of the law for the policy of separating the races. Easier to interpret by noting the inferiority of the... I don't know if I can say that on stream. Is that going to get me taken down? Who knows? Group. A sense of inferiority affects the motivation of a child to learn. Segregation with the sanction of law, therefore, has a tendency to... Oh, we don't say that word anymore. The educational and mental development of the black children, to deprive them of some of the benefits that they would receive in a racially integrated school system. So they're saying segregation leads to a worsening of education and mental development for black students because it deprives them of the benefits of an integrated school. So it'd be D. With the same one here, which following Supreme Court case was decided on that? That's the one I know, Brown v. Board. When I do the FRQs later on, by the way, if I don't get Brown v. Board as my Supreme Court case, it's over. Like, I don't know any other ones that are required. I know Roe v. Wade used to be required, and I used to know that one, then it got freaking removed when it got overturned. Which is messed up. Oh, I only needed 5. I'm at 50. Which following is the best example of congressional oversight? I have heard that term before. I don't know what it means. Congress holding a hearing to address concerns about an action. Congress it's not passing a bill. Checking the president on his policies by issuing a veto on an executive order. The courts do that, not Congress. Congress is writing a bill after the decision of the Supreme Court to declare a law unconstitutional. That's oversight of the Supreme Court. So I'm going to assume it's A. Because the other three... It's not because I feel like A makes sense. It's just because the other three don't make sense. So that's like the default correct answer. Which following is an example of a civil service job? An FBI agent. Because That one has like a normal, it's like a normal job. But a Supreme Court Justice, VP, and Speaker of the House are not. I don't know how to describe it. Like, if they asked me why that was the case, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I just know it's right. The impact of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Okay. Registration before the act. Registration after the act. Oh, it went up. That's nice. Cool. Which the following of the graphs black registration? Nope. Increased in every state shown in the graph. Yes, that's right. Yeah. We're ending off strong here. We're ending off with some that we know. Which the following is a correct statement about how the... Oh, it's a Vox one as well. I watch Vox. I might have seen this before then. I don't know. I watch a lot of Vox videos. Call me woke. Which the following is a correct statement about how the threat of filibuster of the Voting Rights Act was defeated. That's a complete history question that I do not know the answer to. The Voting Rights Act was 1965, so Johnson was not the president. Actually, yeah, because wasn't Andrew Johnson a 1800s president? A cloture motion. Oh, that means ending a filibuster, right? Oh, I didn't even mean to unclick that. I didn't mean to click that yet, but that we learned that from a previous question. I'm actually learning so much through these questions. All right, last one, I believe. Which of the following is an accurate description of senatorial courtesy? Senate votes to confirm a presidential appointment? Potentially. 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 They don't have to approve it. Does the Senate have to approve a Supreme Court justice? I don't think they do. So I think it's going to be A. Oh. Okay. Appointing a federal district court judge. Good to know. Do you have to get one senator to approve? I guess it's inside a district, so it's like the senator it would be the president the senator. Oh, yikes. Senatorials control that area. Alright, well. That is that, chat. Let me look at chat real quick. We have finished the... I mean, I would say easiest part of the exam, but I only got 53% right. Which means how many questions did I get right then? 52 questions correct in that case? 51? No, sorry. Not at all. 26, I think, right? Let me check on my phone, the calculator app. Oh, sorry, not calculator. Yeah, calculator app. What's the clock, though? 26 divided by 55. 28 divided by 55. Did I get 30? 30 divided by 55? 29 divided by 55? Dang, I got 29 correct. That's not bad. That's not bad even a little bit. I'll take that. Alright. With that, it is time to move on to the next part of this, which is going to be the concept application. Okay. So, again, for those who just got here and didn't watch the beginning of the stream, I watched this video from Heimler on how to do FRQs, because I don't know how to do them. It's probably cut off here a little bit, yeah. But I don't know if I remember. It's been like an hour. A little more than an hour, like 2 hours. So we're gonna do our best. Sorry, that was probably really loud for you. Okay. Oh, it explains it here. Okay. The first FRQ is a concept application question. These questions present a real-world scenario, and you're required to apply concepts from the course to explain the political effects of that scenario. After completing your response, you can link at the bottom of this page to review a sample answer and scoring rubric. Okay. Oh, this is where I can get a rubric from here. Okay, good to know, because I'm going to need a rubric for when ChatGPT grades me at the end. Okay. Oh, I also need to... I forgot I have to do this now. Chat, I'm going to create a document that I can write on, just like last stream. So actually, hold on. Give me a second to do this. This probably looks so bad on stream. Yeah. And then I'm going to get a new Google Doc open. Docs.new. I'll put that here. Let me make you a whole lot smaller. Why are you this small? Oh, because I'm showing the wrong thing. This is supposed to be this. 1 second. Where is the thing I need? That's not even Google. I feel like I'm missing a... There we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. Let's continue. I'm putting myself back in the middle, making myself smaller again. Not that small. There we go. Okay. And then I need to move the dock over. Make it a little bit smaller. Right as I said, let's continue. The stream crashed, but we're back, so it's okay. That's all that really matters. Also, the ad at the bottom of this stream, I'm not getting sponsored for. It's actually messed up. McDonald's is getting free promotion. Alright, anyway, there's people watching. I need to get freaking on it. Okay, here we go. Let's read the scenario. The United States Congress and the President both have powers dealing with foreign policy and foreign conflict. During the Vietnam War, it was revealed that the Nixon administration had been conducting a secret bombing in Cambodia without notifying Congress. Congress decided to take action in order to reassert its authority over international conflict. In 1973, the United States Congress passed the War Powers Resolution, bypassing President Nixon's veto. The resolution required the president to consult with Congress during times of war. This law required that presidents end foreign conflicts after 60 days unless Congress authorizes the operation to continue. President Nixon and other presidents believed the War Powers Act is both unconstitutional and dangerous. In 1981, President Reagan sent troops to El Salvador without consulting Congress. In 2011, President Obama took military action in Libya without consulting Congress. Okay, so we're all just like not consulting Congress. What the hell, man? Alright, let's do this though. Describe the power that Congress used in the scenario to pass a law requiring the president to consult with Congress. Wait, what? Describe the power that Congress used in the scenario to pass a law requiring the president to consult Congress. Wait, what power did they use? I don't know. They made a law. I don't know what to tell you, man. They made a freaking law. The power... I'm just going to say the name. The power that Congress used in the scenario is was a resolution. I don't know what it means, but it says resolution, so I'm just gonna save that and move on because I don't know. Also, my music keeps cutting out and I don't like it, and I wish it would come back. It came back. Alright, B. In the context of the scenario, describe an action that the president can take to counteract the congressional power referenced in A. Well, there's not much they can do after that, right? Like that, it bypasses the veto. Right? I think it's trying to get me to say, in context of the scenario, a president is allowed to bypass the oh my god, I can't type, the congressional power by resolving the conflict within 60 days. I don't know if that's what they're referring to, but that's what I'm gonna go with. Alright, C. How's it not? Okay, sure, whatever. Explain how the conflict between Congress and the president referenced in the scenario reflects a principle of the Constitution. Oh, this one I know. This conflict between Congress and the president, I keep not capitalizing president, reflects the ideas of checks and balances in the Constitution. Anything else I should add? Yeah, this back and forth over power in the legislative and executive branches is the result of the checks and balances they hold on each other. Cool. Is that all I need to do? Fire. That's all I needed. So, I guess we can why does music keep pausing? Okay, anyway. So now I can move on to the next piece of this, which is going to be, let me find which one it is. No, I already did this. The quantitative analysis. Okay, let me pull that up on stream so you can see. Yeah, there we go. What is this one again? Below is the second F for Q is the quantitative analysis question. The questions represent quantitative data in the forms of tables, graphs, maps, or infographics. You must be able to describe the data, discern trends, draw conclusions, and explain how the data illustrates a policy, principle, or policy. Fire. It's just graphs. I can do graphs. All right, so let's make this FRQ 2. And now make this A again. This should not be D. All right, let's go. Do you favor legal recognitions of same-sex marriage with all same rights as traditional marriages? In favor and opposed. So it gets closer and closer as you go up in age. Use the graph to identify the following questions. A. Identify the age group that most favors same-sex marriages. The age group of 18 to 29 most favors same-sex marriages. Easy. Describe the trend among the different age groups who oppose gay marriage. As the age groups increase in age, they are more likely to oppose gay marriage. Nice. C. Draw a conclusion as to why different age groups hold different opinions on same-sex marriage. Draw a conclusion? Well, this is just my opinion, right? Wouldn't any answer be right for this? One conclusion on why younger age groups hold a more positive opinion on same-sex marriage might be that there's like a vocab word for it that's like, as time goes on, things like that as society progressed, progressive policies such as same-sex marriage became seen as more acceptable. I definitely did not spell progressed right. That looks more right. I don't really know if that's what they wanted from me. I don't know what kind of answer they're looking for, but that's the answer they're gonna get. And that's kind of my whole motto for this test. Okay, last one. Number D. Explain how the information in the graph could influence future political campaigns. Ooh, okay. Future political campaigns might be, could be influenced by the information in the graph by being more pro same-sex marriage, as it is increasingly becoming a popular opinion. And we saw that. I don't think they want me to give examples here, but like we saw this. Like Barack Obama and Joe Biden used to be very not very, but they were anti same-sex marriage, and now they're just fine with it. Same with like George Bush. I don't think Trump was in politics enough at a time where it was okay to say that they don't like same-sex marriage, so we'll see. Alright, I think that's it. I'm kind of flying through these. I kind of thought that these would take longer, so I'm kind of worried that I'm doing something wrong, because I feel like I'm not supposed to spend this short of time on it. But, you know, it's okay. We'll rock with it. So, we've finished quantitative analysis. So, next up, okay. I want to pause the music here for a second. Sorry, first there was... I don't know if you heard that. There was a fire ambulance going outside. This is the part of the exam I was the most worried about. Where is it? Hello? Where is it? Hello? Huh? Yo. Sorry, 1 second. No. 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 Where is my document? Yo, where the hell did it go? Okay, there we go. This is what I have been most worried about. The SCOTUS comparison. So, for those who don't know, how AP Gov works is over the course of your time in class, you have to learn Supreme Court cases. Ones that then, in this free response, I'll read this out. Supreme Court cases, it's one of those Supreme Court cases called the SCOTUS comparison question. It is actually not explained. All the other ones explain, this one doesn't. Screw me then. How this one works, this one I did a little more research on, because I knew about this one, I was worried about this one. It gives you a random SCOTUS case that you're not really meant to know. And you have to draw comparisons, whether it be similarities or differences, between the one it gives you and one that you know. Because I get to take the class, I literally only know Brown v. Board. So I just have to hope. I just have to hope that Brown v. Board is the one I have to work with. Because if not, I'm kind of screwed. It does give a summary here. This question requires you to compare a Supreme Court case you studied in class with one you have not studied in class. A summary of the Supreme Court case you did not study in this class is presented below and provides all the information you need to know about the case. So I, unlike people who are actually taking this exam, am going to know much more about the one that it tells me about, and not the one that I supposedly learned in class. So with that in mind, let's hop into it. McCutcheon versus the FEC 2014. Here we go. Let me actually get a sip of water. I'll get a sip of water if I were you as well. This is the big one. Okay. In 2002, Congress passed the Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act, imposing aggregate limits on the election cycle and campaign contributions. Can I not open the doc? The aggregate limit was established by a law that was The limit established by the law was a total of $48,600 to federal candidates and a total of $74,600 to other political committees per election cycle. The effect of the aggregate limits was to impose a restriction on how much money a donor can give to any particular candidate or committee. In 2011 and 2012, Sean McCutcheon, a donor from Alabama, contributed over $33,000 to 16 different candidates, but wanted to contribute even more. The Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act banned him from going over the aggregate limit. McCutcheon filed a complaint before the federal courts challenging the law. On appeal, the Supreme Court ruled the aggregate limit imposed by the law violated the U.S. Constitution. In the majority opinion, the court reasoned that spending large sums of money during elections is permissible as long as it does not give rise to quid pro quo corruption. I don't know what quid pro quo means. I've heard the word. I don't know what it means. Okay. Oh, yikes. The one I need to know was Citizen United versus the FEC. The FEC is not the Federal Economy Committee. It's the Federal Election Committee. I was close. Identify the clause in the First Amendment that is common to both of the two. Okay. I know this one because I can just guess based on the First Amendment. The clause in the First Amendment that is... Oh, I can't spell amendment. That is common to both cases is the freedom of speech, of expression, specifically in political matters. Yeah, I'm confident with that. Explain how the facts in McCutcheon vs. FEC and the Citizens United vs. FEC led to similar holdings. I'm not going to know facts about B, so I'm going to just have to... I'm not going to know facts about like the one I need to know. So I guess I'll just yap about facts in this one. The facts in both cases, I'm trying to say, were referring to the aggregate limit to campaign contributions during an election cycle. And both cases seeked to how do I phrase it? That's how you spell seeked. No. Both cases seeked to oppose the limit and go over it for one reason or another. Does it want anything more from me? The facts in the McCutcheon v. FEC case had a singular donor contributing to several different candidates, while Citizens United v. FEC, I'm gonna make this up because I don't know, had several donors contributing to I'm gonna say an organization contributing to candidates. The facts in both cases led to a favorable holding against the favorable holding to the what's the opposite of defendant? The prosecutor, but it's not a criminal case. It's not a prosecute. Sorry. I'm just gonna say a disfavorable holding to the FEC, allowing the aggregate limit to be bent. I hope that was a good enough answer and as long of an answer they wanted, because it's definitely longer than anything else I've written so far. Alright, let's move on to C. It's also an explain one, so I'm probably going to need to... Also, by the way, for this one, I'm looking at chat because, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough information to, like, have chat mess up my test too much. And back home from college. Wait, why are you back? This year hasn't started yet. Why were you in college? Oh, I guess, like, I assume you were, like, moving in, and then, like, you're back home before classes start? Because I know classes for college don't start until September. Neither do I. Goatsman is plaintiff. Okay, good to know. I'm still going to keep what I had. I already changed it enough. But plaintiff. I'll keep that in mind if I need it again. Alright, continuing on to C. Explain how the decision of McCutcheon versus FEC could lead to an increase in participatory democracy. Okay, participatory democracy is where more voters are, participating. I learned that. That was something that Heimler said in the video. He was explaining how this one worked. I wonder if participatory democracy is a question in every SCOTUS comparison FRQ. I wonder. The decision led to an could lead to an increase in participatory democracy by allowing candidates to better motivate voters to go to the polls. If a candidate is allowed to receive greater sums of money through donors, they can spend it on campaign ads to electrify potential voters. Furthermore, it makes large donors more engaged in democracy as they can further participate with their dollars. I think that's as good of an answer as you're going to get out of me. So I think we're done, right? That's all I need to do for these. These FRQs are really short. I kind of thought they'd be longer. But all right, so if that's all I need to do, then I only have one FRQ remaining. And that one would be... Oh my god. I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. And that one would be the argumentative essay. I don't know how long this is. I assume it's probably the size of... Sorry. It's probably the size of a, like, LEQ or DBQ. So we're buckling in for this one. For FRQ number 4. Alright, let's see what explanation they give for this. In this essay, you need to present a defensible thesis that responds to the question and establishes a clear line of reasoning after you use the response. Okay, so it's just like an argumentative essay. So I'm going to do this next week for AP Lang as well, an argumentative essay. I'm fairly sure AP Lang has an argumentative essay. Yeah. Oh, no. In recent years, there's been much discussion as to whether the federal government or individual states are more effective in protecting civil liberties. Take a position as to whether state governments or federal governments best protect citizens' civil liberties. Use at least one piece of evidence of the following documents to support your argument. I don't remember this, I don't remember this. I'm going with the Constitution. In your essay, you must articulate a defensible claim or thesis that responds to the prompt and establishes a line of reasoning. Support your claim or thesis with at least 2 pieces of accurate, relevant evidence. So it's going to be intro with the thesis, and then evidence 1, evidence 2, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Okay. So it's like an LEQ. One piece of evidence must come from one of the foundational documents listed above. A second piece of evidence can come from any other foundational document not using the first piece of evidence, or it may be from your knowledge of course concepts. Okay. Respond to an opposing or alternative perspective using refutation, conditional rebuttal. Use reasoning to explain why your evidence supports your claim or thesis. Okay. Okay, so what's the prompt exactly again here? In recent years, there have been much discussions with whether a federal government or individual states are more effective in protecting civil liberties. Take a position as to whether state governments or federal governments best protect citizens' liberties. Okay, so I think I sort of have to argue federal government here because I'm using the Constitution as my document. Do you need historical context for? I don't think you need historical context. I know you need one for APUSH and AP World, but I guess for here I won't have one. I guess I'll jibber jabber for a sentence or two and then go into my thesis. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Constitution is a foundational document to the United States and was one of the first to grant civil liberties to the citizens of this new country. So I'll say, given that, the federal government is more effective in protecting civil liberties because, do I need a because? I'll give a because. Because it relies because it often relies on the Constitution, which, am I live on the same stream? I hope I'm live on the same stream. Let me check my YouTube. It says I'm still live. Ooh, I am still live. Okay. What happened? Let me see what happened on stream. What did you guys see happen? It just cut. Okay. If you want to know why the stream crashed, I actually don't have an answer for you. I can just tell you, for 5 seconds, the entire computer went black, and then it closed a bunch of my applications. It kept Google open. I still have all my Google tabs. But it closed everything, including OBS, which is what I use to stream. So I'm gonna go back to the exam. Wait, my timer got messed up. My timer's gonna be 3 hours now. My timer isn't even here. What happened to my timer? Yeah. My freaking timer. That's messed up. Okay, so the timer's just gonna be wrong now, but we'll work with it. Okay, do I still have my... Yeah, it's still here. So where is it on here? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate that happened, but we're gonna just have to move on. Okay. One second. Okay. My music stopped as well. Okay, with that very strange stoppage, I'm going to continue. My fault for the inconvenience. Alright, let us move on with that. Okay, because the Constitution, which outlines the rights granted to citizens. And I need one other thing. What else am I going to talk about in my second body paragraph? It doesn't have to be the documents. So what else could be a reason that the federal government is more effective than individual states? Because I feel like in reality, I probably more agree with individual states. Just because, like, they can better fit the needs of the people who are in the state. Like, the smaller you get, the more, like, autonomy the citizens have. But I can't argue that because I don't have a document to back it up. So, how could I think that the federal government does a better job? I could say they have access to more resources. Yeah. I'm going to say access to more resources. And has access to more resources. Then I'll explain further what that means in my next paragraph. Okay, so starting off with the one about the document. So, let's start off with the first reason that the federal government does a better job at protecting citizens' civil liberties is best shown in the Constitution, specifically the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, which came along with the original Constitution, outlines many outlines 10 amendments worth of rights granted to citizens. Rights such as free speech, the right to sue, the right to remain silent, all come, etc. All come from here and have become basic rights that everyone today takes for granted in this country. Without the Constitution, it would be up to the states to decide who receives which basic rights, which could lead to all sorts of issues, both statewide and between states, with an extreme ending being secession, as seen during the Civil War. That's kind of a slippery slope, but it's an argumentative essay, so we'll rock with it for now. What else? Action as seen in a civil war. Anything else I want to say in this first paragraph? In this first one? Furthermore, having a cohesive document that all 50 states function with proper protection. Okay, I saw I lagged for a second, but I didn't, you know. I didn't stop typing. I also added this ease of travel is necessary to have a functioning country with proper protection of civil liberties. I feel like that's good enough. So with that, I'm going to move on to my second part, which is access to resources. Aside from just the Constitution, the federal government in the present day inherently has access to more resources. Tools such as the National Guard or direct communication with foreign leaders allows for greater physical protection of civil liberties against any possible perpetrators and the spread of ideas internationally. While states may still be able to be inspired, or you know what, I'm gonna keep this for later. I'm gonna put that later in the thing. States have a much smaller militias, or militias, meaning that the federal government is able to do a better job in a moment of crisis. Furthermore, I already said furthermore. On the point of international communication, while states may still be inspired by what happens abroad, being able to have direct communication allows for the implementation of potential changes to protection of civil liberties. Liberties allows for to happen much more smoothly and with more thought out ideas than what a state would provide. I think that's all I need. I'm not going to make this the longest essay of all time, also because I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I think I'm good to just... I'm going to turn my light down. I saw I was getting a little bit yellow out there. With that, I think I'm good to end it off. So I'm going to say, in conclusion, due to the legislative backing and access to greater tools, the federal government has, they are better equipped to protect the civil liberties of everyone in their nation. I should make it more than one sentence. From the first 10 amendments that clearly outline what a civil liberty is and the action to take when that liberty is infringed upon, to physical and ideological connections, the federal government simply has more to offer for its people. And I think that's it. So chat, with that, I can turn off the music. We have finished the exam. Woo! So now it's time for the fun part. Now it is time to go into ChatGPT as I did in the week before. And where's my thing? And see what score I got. I'll put this in here as well. Can you see the document still? What does you see on my stream? Oh boy, I don't know what even this would start to be. Oh, this is just an extra thing I don't need. Okay, I see. Oh, just put this here. Got it. Okay, I can now put this over. I don't need the timer anymore. Also don't know why the Kahoot code from like months ago is still there. Okay, let us open ChatGPT and begin the process of this. Wait, this is not... Oh, my sister used my account. Okay. Hello. I am back a week later, and I did the same thing with the AP Gov exam. I got a... What did I get on my multiple choice again? Um, 29, we said. I got a 29 out of 55 on the multiple choice. And then what is next? FRQ1. Well, first I need to have the rubric. Here is the rubric for FRQ1. This is the question for... Wait, does it have the rubric for this specific one? Is this the rubric? Wait. Rubric for AP Gov FRQ1. Is there a different rubric? Scoring guideline. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. This just gives acceptable answers. I see. Okay. So it's just going to be this. Okay. Here are my answers. And here's FRQ number 1. It doesn't add the A, B, and C, which is kind of annoying. This is going to take a second, y'all, because I have to get through all this. Here is the rubric for FRQ2. Here are my answers. Here is the rubric for FRQ3. Oh boy, this is this one. Yeah, I'm sure I did not do great on this. Here is my answer. Oh, did I not put into A, B, and C for that one? Yeah, I didn't. Hold up. Wait. Oh, please? I hate that it doesn't do it for me. Okay, here we go. My answers. That is not my answers. I did not do this. There was no D for this one? Okay. Alright. Here's the rubric, and then here's my answers for... Yo, I actually hate this so much. It keeps, like, going away from what I'm clicking on. A, B, and C. Alright, and then lastly, finally, here is the rubric for FRQ4. Okay. Here is my answer. And this is just the essay. And then how much is each part of the AP Gov exam worth? Please use the College Board guide to give me a score the way College Board would on their scale of 1 to 5. In case you don't know, on this exam, the multiple choice is worth 50%, and the FRQs are worth 12.5% each. Please don't sugarcoat my answer or grade it lightly. Imagine this is my final exam and you are my grader. I don't want to have an issue where like ChatGPT gives me like a 4, because I definitely don't deserve a 4 for this. Alright, so with that, it's going to take a second to figure it out, so I'll submit it now. Let's see what I got. Wait, is it going to give me an answer? Yep. Last time it took forever to figure it out. Is it going to give me an answer? Yo. Where is my answer? 3? There's just no way. I just did not get a 3 on this. Yeah. I'm starting a little bit on the national average. Yeah, that makes sense because I never took the class. Are you sure? Please give me the score that feels accurate, not a sugar-coated one. Grade each one harshly, and I'm not saying harshly, but accurately. Yes, I want, yeah. Don't get me sugarcoating. The college AP Gov reader. Yes. Okay, so let me see. This is a score. FRQ1, it gave me 1 out of 3. That makes sense. The fact that I got... Oh, because this is the one with the checks and balances. Yeah, okay. I got 4 out of 4 on this one? Okay, because, oh, that was the one with the graph. That makes sense. Because the graph one was very much like, if you can read a graph, you get the answer, right? 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 on SCOTUS? There's no way my bullcrap worked. Freedom of speech clause. Okay, expression does not equal acceptable. B, you wrote, explained. Huh. Sure, okay. And then 4 out of 6. Oh my god. My thesis was good. I mentioned Bill of Rights. I mentioned National Guard and international resources. You tied both to why federal gov protects better. Oh, I didn't know I need a counter argument. I didn't know that's required. Okay. Extra evidence point. I didn't know these 2 points existed. So, okay, good to know, I guess. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So it gave me a 3? AP Gov curves vary, but historically, I got a what, a 61.5? And that would have me like in between a 3. Damn. Wait, that's kind of crazy. I thought I'd do worse. Let's put on some music for that. Where's my music at? That's actually pretty good. Because I thought that for the AP Gov exam, the AP Push exam I did last week, when I did good on that, I was like, okay, well, I took an AP US history, or not, I took a US history class before. So I was like, maybe that's why, right? But, and I guess Gov is similar. Gov is a lot of American history, which I know a good chunk about as well. But I mean, I'm not complaining. That was a pretty good one. Can't be mad about that. Also, I feel like the exam's a lot shorter. Like, AP, like, I said that this one's going to be shorter because I'm not going to think it's hard, but I feel like I was still pretty engaged all the time. I might have gone faster through the multiple choice. Actually, probably, certainly most of the time that I chopped off was during the multiple choice. But, hey, I'll take a 3. That's pretty crazy. So, with that, we still have one thing that we do need to get out of the way before I end this stream today, and that, as always, is going to be the Wordle. So with that, let's hop right into the Wordle for today to end off our stream. We're going to be starting off, as always, with whale, and then tonic, and then drugs. Let me get all 4 letters. Not 5. I did not. T-O-L-E. Okay. How would that even be arranged? It's probably something here. And then... a zealot? A zealot. Is that not a word? Felon. Fetal. Pedal. Okay, I don't think it's this. Sorry, I don't think it's this. I also don't think it's this. I think it's probably... I actually want to get the 5th letter here. I still didn't get it. Okay, well, that's not helpful. It might be O or E to start. I would say outlet, but it's also not. It's also 6 letters, but, you know. Oh, yikes. Elute. Elute. Alots. Alets. Dude, what is this word? I'm so confused. Let me find a word that has a lot of these ones. Like, let me do like felon. I'm gonna do felon just to see where the E, L, and O are. The O is 4th, and there's no F in there. Yikes! What is this word? Okay, so the E is either 1st or 3rd. I don't like E and O being initials. I'm just gonna say it's over the E. And then L has to be, it could be L-E-L? L-Tots. This feels right. Well, actually, maybe not, because I was thinking Elton, but it's not going to be Elton. Elto. Eltob. Okay, so it's actually not going to be this then. So let's put L last. Tool. Let's put Okay, well if E's not there, then E has to be here. But that doesn't look right. I think E has to be at the start, I think. Dude, I'm still on the Wordle and the song already ended. That's rough for me. Doesn't happen often. The L is either here or at the end. L-bot. Oh, sorry. Well, then it would have to be a T there. Bro, what is this word? I'm so confused. There has to be a consonant second. Like, no matter what. Same with at the end. It also has to end with a consonant. But I think it's going to end with either a T or an L. I don't think it's going to be else. Because I already tried everything. So let's say it ends in a T. Then L would have to be here if it ends in a T. And it's not Elcott. Is Elcott a word? Okay, so it's not, so I don't think it's this. Which means then L has to be at the end. Which means T is one of the, it's not, is it double T? No. But T is one of those two and something else. Batial. Kitial. I promise you I've tried every word combination left. I quit. What was the word? Extol? Did I not try that? What even is extol? Praise enthusiastically. That's so dumb. Please give me an easy strands. That actually pissed me off. Please give me an easy strands. And I can't block this. Hold up. Marvelous and then some. Please tell me it's just Marvel as in, like, the thing. I see Wolverine. No, I don't. I see wolves. It's definitely Wolverine. There we go. Thank God it's an easy one. Superheroes. Superheroes. Superhero. Superhero. Superheroes. There we go. What's this? Storm. What else is superhero? There's Wolverine. There's Storm. There's... This is Live something. Daredevil. This is something Knights. Is it just night? It's something night. Wait, I still have 3 words to get here? How? Is it not night then? Oh, Hulk is here. Rogue. Wait, so it is night. What? It's not night? How is the word night all that's left and it's not that? Okay, we're back. My Wi-Fi is like going in and out right now, so I need to, as fast as possible, end the stream so you guys can still like see this and then end it. Cause like, you know, there's not a lot of, yo, why is my, things are still super slow to load, so I'm trying to get through this. Okay. Here we go. Before it cuts out again, I will have a few words to say. Week by week, more people are going back to school. First it was my Californian friends, and then now I think the middle of the U.S. and also other Western countries starting to get back into it. It's like the biggest week for school to start. So I start pretty late compared to most of you guys. I start September 4th, which means I have a little bit of time to go. But I'll be back next week with my final AP exam I'm taking before the class, which will be AP Lang, which is not a history or government related thing, which is different from APUSH and AP Gov. So we'll see how that goes. But after that will be our first study stream. So we have one final summer stream left, and then we'll be back with the studying. The final study stream will still be the day before I start school, but I feel like by September I should start, so I'll kick up the normal program. I have some work I can do. Don't worry, I'll have work. So with that, I want to say thank y'all for watching. Let's see if I can keep up a streak of passing all my exams according to ChatGPT. So with that, I will see all of you next week, less than a week, because today's Thursday, and I normally stream on Wednesdays. And I'll see you, oh shoot, wrong thing. There we go. See you guys next week. Do something good for future you. Go prepare for school. Start sleeping early. Start finishing your summer homework. All right, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. See you next week. Bye, 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 bye.